This means,
ambition.
yeah,
Ambition.
yes, ambition, yeah. And this also, I mean, it can be interpreted in two different ways. One is from a positive way, it is more of ambitious and then trying to achieve something. And other way of looking at is anyhow, like, I mean, a coin has two sides, right? So the other side of the coin is escaping from something. That is also another way of interpreting. Okay. So why I'm bringing all these things are the dreams can be entertaining, fun-filled, frightening, bizarre, but what it means is it interprets some things because there are signals in the mind that are being interconnected, and that is coming in the form of dreams. But in case if we are able to understand that and relate to that, interpret that, that is the best thing that can happen. Okay. So let us come to Toastmasters. So let me stop the sharing here. But if you see in Toastmasters, if you have to relate this theme with Toastmasters, some of the dreams which we have may come true because of Toastmasters. Do you agree or not? What are the dreams that can come true because of Toastmasters? We have several things, right? From a communication perspective, from a leadership perspective, if you dream of something, Toastmasters will make it true. So please ensure that you attend all those Toastmaster meetings. Even if you don't have a role also, please ensure you come and attend. But by listening to somebody who is speaking, you will definitely learn something. That is the power of Toastmasters. It has the power to make any dream come true. Think positively, think about your goals. Definitely Toastmasters can help you with that. Now, coming back to Toastmasters meetings, in any Toastmasters meeting, anywhere in the world, whether it is Medley or any other meeting, there are three different things that happens, three different parts for a meeting. The first part is the one that involves prepared speeches. Today we have three prepared speeches for which our members have spent a lot of time on preparing as well as rehearsing, and I'm definitely we will have a gala time today to listen to those speeches. That's the first part. The second part is table topics. This is our chance to deliver something on an impromptu basis. If you are given a situation, how would you react to that? You have to react positively to that, right? That is where table topics is very important, and that will prepare you for some uncomfortable situations, but you will be in a position to come out in flying colors if you attend those Toastmaster sessions, especially the TT sessions. The third part is on the evaluations, where we find out how well the overall meeting has gone through and how each and every role player has performed. All these things are taken up as part of evaluation. So broadly, there are three different categories, and we have one more category also as a special session today, but we will come later to that. But these are the three broad categories which we can see in any Toastmasters meeting, and we are going to see these three sessions today. And for this, we have somebody called as a general evaluator for evaluating the total session. This person is in Toastmasters for the past 20 years, and this is his 20th year. We have to welcome him with the big hands because this is his 20th year. And he's a he's a charter as well as pre-charter member for Medley. And he is also a member of D120 Mentor Pool Chair. And this person is multi-talented personality, and he has got experience in various fields, whether it is minerals, materials, communication, environmental testing, you name it. This person is always there, and he's an inspiration for many in Medley as well. Please put your hands to welcome DTM Sampath Saurirajan.
Hello, good afternoon, Toastmasters Abhi, fellow Toastmasters, and our trainer guest, DTM Nina. First, a small correction. I am not a Mentorpool chair, I am Mentorpool committee member. Mentorpool chair is DTM Nina this year. Last year I was a Mentorpool chair, this year she is Mentorpool. Now, I am the general evaluator, but let me assure you, I am not going to behave like a general. I am a friendly evaluator. Let me start with an interesting idea. Evaluation is often used as the USP of Toastmasters. But let me tell you today that evaluation is the fourth most important thing in Toastmasters. It's the fourth most important thing. So there are three others preceding that. Let us think about it as we go along. Now, to help the evaluation administration, we have three parametric evaluators in terms of time, wastage of time, and use of language. And also today's three projects will have dedicated evaluators for those projects. Now let me start with the first of the parametric evaluators, the most important from the point of view of the meeting conduct, the timer. Today's timer is Toastmaster Satish. He is a relatively recent member. As the president said, it is his first time doing a role. He works as a SAP consultant for Cognizant, and his hobbies are photography and playing football. Please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Satish as he tries to outline his role today.
Yeah, thank you, Sambat, sir. Yeah, today I'll be the timer. Yeah. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a timer, I will time the table topic speakers, formal speeches, and the evaluations. And I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards, which denote the specific times remaining. Table topic speakers should limit the remarks to no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card, and at 1 minute, 30 seconds, I'll raise the yellow card, and at 2 minutes, I'll raise the red card. And today's speeches should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. So at 5 minutes, I will raise the green card, and at 6 minutes, I'll raise the yellow card, and at 7 minutes, I'll raise the red card. The individual evaluations should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll raise the green card. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I'll raise the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I'll raise the red card. So I require all speakers to pin my video. Yeah. Thank you, Toastmasters.
Can you please demonstrate the colors once for our benefit?
Yeah. So this is for green.
Okay, thank you. Though he said I will raise the card, but nowadays we are using the background color changing method. Thank you, timer. Next, I want to invite the R counter for the day. This is Toastmaster Aishwarya Lakshmi. She is from Toothukudi. She did her computer science engineering from Tyagaraja College of Engineering. In the year 2020, she completed that. She works as project support officer in AstraZeneca India Private Limited. A very well-known name for us all these days. Let us welcome our accountant to outline her role.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose, I'll be serving the role of counter in this meeting. The purpose of counter is to note the words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pass filler by anyone who speaks. So during the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you. I will also listen for filler sounds, including and I'll also note when a speaker repeats.
I think we lost her.
Yeah, I think we should we can continue.
I'm facing some network issues.
Ah.
Am I audible?
Now you are.
Yeah. So at the end of the meeting, I'll report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you, Toastmasters. Over to you, Sambit sir.
Thank you very much. Today's grammarian is our past president, DTM Thomas K. Abraham. He started as a lecturer in English. That's very ominous for us today having him as grammarian. He is the current District 120 finalist in ISC and PT. Good luck to him and good luck to Medley. Now, please join me in welcoming him to outline his role.
Thank you very much, GE. Good afternoon, dear Medlians and ever welcome guests. Today, as your grammarian, it's my pleasure to offer the word of the day, which is illusion. Illusion means it's a noun to start with. It's pronounced as illusion. It means a thing that is or that is likely to be perceived or interpreted by the senses wrongly. In other words, something that's misleading, that creates a misleading impression. Usage, the illusion of looking taller by wearing stripes, which all of us used to do once, didn't we? But I must tell you, I'm duty bound to tell you about two close cousins of the same word, delusion and disillusion. Delusion is a noun. I'm sorry where the sound is coming from. I have no control over it. It's not my production. It's delusion. It means a belief despite being contradicted by reality. Typically a symptom of mental disorder. Example, the delusion, some people, of popularity, power, superiority. Disillusion is a noun, disillusion. It means realizing that something is not as good as what one believed it to be. In other words, the act of exiting illusion is delusion. Usages are many. One of them is very obvious. But the point is, what is disillusionment? Disillusionment is the feeling at the point of disillusion. When you achieve disillusion, what you feel, that disappointment, is disillusionment. All of them are nouns. I hope it's confusing enough. 3 similar sounding words. So I request all of you to please use it to be uploaded. Illusion is the word. Over to you, GE.
Thank you. So today I request all the role players, speakers, and table topic commentators not to cooperate with these 3 people and give room for any complaint. If the grammarian has very little to say, then you have done that. If the counter has very little to say, then you have done that. The timer is happy, we have all done that. Now back to the PMOD.
Thank you, DTM Sampath. Coming back to the topic or the theme. So I just have a question. Do you know how many dreams you will have in every night on an average?
I usually have 0.
0. Good. Anybody else?
5.
5. Very good.
I've read somewhere we have some 10,000 plus, very few gets registered.
Yeah, correct. Only 80% of participants will be able to understand what that means, as well as
Education vice president will have more than 12, 13 dreams that dropping out. This is dropping out, that is dropping out. So he's totally in a dream world.
Right. Thank you, sir. Hopefully it should not be a nightmare. Dream is fine, but nightmare is more difficult. Okay. So do you know, these dreams can be in color or black and white?
Color.
It can be, yeah. It can be in color or also, yeah.
Black and white, no, color.
Okay. But there are certain people who dreams in...
maybe they are old black and white time people.
Correct. You are right.
Young people like me will have only color.
So there is a study that mentioned At 60 years old, 20% say they dreamed in color. So that is another research that was done as such. Okay, coming back to our Toastmasters meetings. Now the first part, that is the prepared speech part. So here the speakers will go through a central theme. It can be inspiration, information, or persuasion based on their project objectives. Now everybody is doing pathways. So there are objectives that are there and everybody have to make, script their speech based on their objectives. That is clearly very important. So for the first speech, project speaker number 1, this person is our charter president who can speak about variety of subjects and has a unique capability to lace his speech with humor. Our first speaker is DTM VNS. Before calling him for speech, I would like to call his evaluator Toastmaster Jagannathan to read out his project objectives.
Thank you, Saravanan. Distinguished Toastmaster VN Subramaniam is delivering his pathway from his pathway Strategic Relationships, Level 2, Project 2, Cross-Cultural Understanding. The purpose of this project is for the member to identify his or her own cultural identities and the stereotypes that impact others' perception of him or her. The member completing this project has spent time in identifying his or her own cultural identities and associated stereotypes. The timing is 5 to 7 minutes. All the very best to DTM VNS. Over to you, Saravanan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jagannathan. Please put your hands to welcome DTM VN Subramanian. Identity crisis, DTM VN Subramanian, identity crisis.
Dreams unlimited. We all have number of dreams. And it is said that a dream is precipitated from the day residue. From the day residue. We are all speaking, unfortunately, in neither my mother tongue nor your mother tongue. The culture has got an inseparable relation with the language, and the communication, understanding the language has got the pull of the culture. Same Toastmaster, Medley, another Toastmaster, Tamil to Solvender, a bilingual Toastmaster club. Same rules, regulations. But here what words you are using may not be or cannot be used in Tamil. For example, he has got nice hair. Even without much hair, Sunil looks handsome. You cannot use it in Tamil. You have to find different words to substitute because the culture comes in between. Cross-culture understanding. In the pathways, I thought this is a very simple project as all others, but you know, it is one of the very difficult project in pathways. And to prepare for this is very, very difficult. Fortunately, I was inducted in Manama Toastmasters Club, Bahrain, which is a cosmopolitan club, where Bahrainis are there, English were there, Sri Lankans were there, Pakistanis were there. So cultural fusion was there, and the language was English. I went to airport for confirming a job in the airport with my boss Hassan Darwish Mohammed, and his counterpart Arabic man was there. I went there and I was briefing him what is the job we are going to do, how much time frame and all. When we went there, he said, Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum assalam. Sabah al-khair, Sabah al-nur. كيف حالك كيف حالك انت تمام كيف حالك الله يسلمك Agu, I thought the matter is over. I asked him, the contract is finished? He said, now greetings only finished. We were greeting each other. One good morning or one good evening will finish in 1 second. And this is Chefala, Kefala, Kefala, Chefala, Chefala, Allah Salmika, Allah Karim. All these things are greetings. So the cross culture, the communication is cross culture. You cannot get liberated from your culture. If you think that you can overcome the culture and your language can keep your communication high, it is nothing but a total illusion. You have to get disillusioned. And it is actually it is a study. Before communicating, we have to have a thorough study of culture. That is why even after 70 years of independence also, we don't know which is our national language. Some people say it is Hindi, some people say it is Tamil. And they say that the link language is English. In Toastmasters, if you come, when you come first, I just wanted to remind you, you take a pledge. I will come to the club regularly. My attendance will be full. And whatever the education vice president says and the committee says, I will prepare my projects in time. And I will help others to get evaluated. You remember this promise? I think you may remember this promise. But how many of you are going through the promise of, that is a part of culture, Toastmasters culture. The cross culture will not bring the perfect communication. And only the perfect communication will lead to the leadership. Studying cultural part of it is inevitable. Over to you, Mr. Sharon.
Thank you, DTM VNS, for the inspirational speech. Today is April 24th, but do you remember what was April 23rd famous for or special for? It was English Language Day as well as World Book Day. And I'm sure whoever had heard DTM VNS speech will vouch for that. Very good diction, very good English usage, very good usage. Thank you, DTM VNS, for that wonderful speech. We go to the next speaker, project speaker number 2. The project speaker number 2 is an energetic Toastmaster and who is with Medley for the past 2 years. He has actively taken up various club roles and club officer roles as well. And he is a business development professional and a travel enthusiast. This is Toastmaster Pranav who will be giving the project's second speech. Before calling Toastmaster Pranav, I would like to call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Shankar, to read out his project objectives.
Thank you, TMOD. So today, Toastmaster Pranav is attempting pathway from leadership development, and the project name is Managing Successful Event. The purpose of the project is for member to practice planning, organizing, leading, and implementing an event. Timer, please note the timing is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Pranav.
Thank you, Toastmasters Shankar. Please put your hands to welcome Toastmaster Pranav. Toastmaster Pranav, virtual chair, Toastmaster Pranav.
Just bear with me for a minute. He's just joining in. I think they dropped out.
He's just joining. I admitted him.
Toastmaster Pranav, can you hear us?
Yes. Am I audible and visible? Sorry for that.
Yeah. All the best, Toastmaster Pranav.
Thank you. Thank you, Team Modi. First question. How many of you here believe in teamwork? I'm sure every individual in the screen would agree with me. You know, there's a funny saying that says that teamwork is essential. You know why? When anything bad happens, all of us obviously point fingers at each other, right? It happens in corporate and everywhere we go. But jokes apart, I believed in the importance of teamwork when I played the role of a contest chair a couple of months back. Toastmasters of the day, fellow Toastmasters, my dear guests, a very good afternoon. In the second week of August 2020, I got this email about this humorous and evaluation speech contest. And they were looking for a contest chair. I shrugged it off saying, why should I take such a time-consuming role? That evening, I get a text from DTM Thomas saying, Pranav, can you take the contest chair role? I was very reluctant. I told him, let me take some time. But Thomas, sir, as always, he will push me and motivate me and say, you know what, you can pull this off for sure. I was like, okay, fine. If you have the confidence, I'll go ahead with it. Immediately, we created a WhatsApp group, Thomas, sir, myself, and Raghunath Nair. We had seasoned people with us, and we started laying the groundwork for the contest. Now it was time for action. What do I need to do? I need to plan, I need to organize, and the final thing, select a team, and it should be implementation after that. I went through the contest manuals, all the rule books, because it was all online. I got in touch with the chief judge as well to guide me through every step of the process. She said, it's an online contest and it's serious business. It's a first time for everyone. So make sure that you communicate as perfectly as possible to every individual. Immediately, I created a WhatsApp group for role players, for contestants, shared all the manuals because it was the first time for everyone, and we all had to be on the same page. Now came team selection. I had a pretty clear idea of overall medley. See, I'm someone who networks and talks to each and every individual as possible wherever I go. So I knew who were the folks in medley who would be apt for each and every role. We just needed 6 people, 2 timers, 1 tally counter, a sergeant at arms, 2 contest masters. I knew who were all the people. We had seasoned contest masters like Sundareshan sir, who was a long-time Toastmaster. Then Dinesh came in, Mohana Sundaram, then Pavitra, and many others. And Ranga, all of you know he's the go-to man in medley, of course. So I had a good group of young and experienced Toastmasters. Now, when I took up this contest chair role, one of the reasons I took it up was I thought it was going to be all straightforward, online contest. I don't need to ask the club even for 1 rupee to spend on food, arranging the location or whatever you might call it. I thought it was that straightforward. No, not at all. We had to communicate things in a contest virtually. How was that going to be possible? That's when, in Tamil, they say one saying, you guys know, Nalla gunda thuki potam paru. And the chief judge dropped a bombshell. She said, do you know this concept called breakout room? That took 2 days before the contest. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know anything about that. Then I told her, please arrange for a trial run, okay? Because everyone has to understand this. So many of you might know this. A breakout room is nothing, but it is something which is used during an evaluation contest. As all of you know, during an evaluation contest, except for the first contestant, all the other contestants have to be in another room. But to do that virtually, you need to use the logistics of a breakout room, of course. Now, I was pretty tense because the chief judge again warned me saying, if this fails or falls apart and even one contestant comes into the contestant room, I will redo the entire contest again. Just imagine me doing a contest role all again from scratch. Oh my God, that gave me shivers for sure. But then I coordinated with Ranga, who was the sergeant at arms. He was an integral part of this process. But we were tense. See, sometimes in these situations is where technology can be a bane, my dear friends, because you never know. It's not under your control if a network issue happens or if a contestant know what happens. And we are dependent on Zoom for a contest to run smoothly. But fingers crossed, the D-Day came on the day of the contest and everyone came in. I was very nervous. And we started the meeting, the lot picking happened, and everything in the evaluation contest started. I was literally so scared. And that half an hour, I have to tell you, I've never been so worried. Ranga and I were like those two people, making sure that that half an hour went as quickly as possible. Okay. And there was good communication. And we were in touch through WhatsApp with the chief judge for any issues, if anyone faced any network issues. Through WhatsApp, through phone calls, and that was the medium we had to do. Fortunately, to our relief, both the contests went really well. Friends, my experience from planning, implementing, organizing, and leading this particular event have been plenty, but I would be very happy to share some of the takeaways that I took. Teamwork is important for any leader, but more importantly, team selection is important. You need to select people with whom you can work first and who are serious. Communication was a huge challenge. Okay, so that was another thing that we had to do. And when we are dependent on a medium like Zoom, in a contest, just imagine if a timer's internet connection goes off, what happens? We don't know who is qualified, who is disqualified. How crucial is each and everything? So identify backups wherever possible before you even start. Even when you select role players, make sure you have backups everywhere. So friends, as you saw, the success of any event was planning, organizing, team selection, and many others. And I was very fortunate to have a wonderful group of medallions who made this a grand success. I hand the stage over to the TM Modi. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pranav, for the illustration of what you went through as a virtual chair. Very well done. Thank you. Now we go on to the next speech. I was wondering whether this speech will happen or not because there was a network issue, but the speaker got it in time. So yes, I told about April 23rd and about the specialty of April 23rd, right? Is there any other specialty on April 23rd? Well, the day coincides with both the birth as well as death day of William Shakespeare. You might have got a gist about whom I am going to introduce.
Wow.
Yes, this is our very own Toastmaster Tyagarajan, who can speak about Shakespeare's passages without any script. And he also coined a new word in English, which was published in Know Your English in the Hindu. Before calling Toastmaster Tyagarajan for his speech, I would like to call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Kalyan, to read out his project objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Saravanan. Good evening, friends and fellow Toastmasters. My speaker, Toastmaster Tyagarajan, is doing his project speech from a path called Dynamic Leadership. This is a level 5, and this has got only one level, and the other projects are elective. And the purpose of this particular project is to apply the skills needed to successfully lead in a volunteer or other organization. Timer, please note, the time is 8 to 10 minutes. 8-minute green, 9 is amber, and 10th minute is red. And all the best to my target speaker, and over to the Toastmaster of the Day, Saravanan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalyan. Please put your hands to welcome Toastmaster Tyagarajan. Toastmaster Tyagarajan, competent leadership, Toastmaster Tyagarajan.
Thank you all very much, but let me, yes, am I visible and audible? That is very crucial. Okay, thank you very much. Now, over to my speech, competent leadership. Competent leadership is essential for human progress and civilization. And the positive and productive motivation is the hallmark of a competent leader. See, it was Winston Churchill, that who, yes, this is only an example. There were many before, but Winston Churchill, with his wartime speeches, he motivated the British citizens, and they defeated Nazi Germany. And Churchill proved to the world that tongue is mightier than sword. Sure. So motivation plays a very crucial role in leadership. Motivation is of three kinds. First is internal motivation. Let me illustrate. There is a young smart boy whose dream is to become a doctor. But that proposal is desired and dormant in his mind. It requires the propelling force to activate his mind. In the absence of it, it may even perish. Oh, this is called intrinsic motivation. It does not involve any external agent. It can even be categorized as self-motivation. Now, this boy, accidentally lays his hand in a volume titled the Dr. Albert Schweitzer, a Nobel Prize winner, a dedicated physician. He shuffles through the pages and makes a diamond-hard determination. Yes, Albert Schweitzer's life and work have propelled and activated his mind. And he makes a firm determination. And that is intrinsic motivation. Number two is extrinsic motivation. Very simple. The month of Ad is around the corner. Before you make a stroll through the Pandi Bazaar, and you you visit some jewelry shops or textile shops. You'll be offered massive discounts. That is extrinsic motivation. It's a kind of incentive for you to buy that goods. That is extrinsic. Now, third is the very crucial one and also a difficult. That is strategic motivation. It is a challenging, and it also involves prudence and patience. When I was employed as a quarry manager in a hamlet in the Tinnevelly district, I had that experience. While I was attending the office, there was a hideous noise upsetting my concentration. So I rushed out. And to my dismay, I witnessed a heated wordy duel between my supervisor and the stonecutter by name Anton. Yes, for a few seconds, I was mute. And supervisor was yelling in his big manly voice. He shouted, "Yell, Anthony, okay, if you can't do any work, get discharged. We will find a replacement because we have to meet the deadline." That's very crucial. Why are you dozing, lazy and lethargic? Why is it so? Now, next, it was Anthony was equally aggressive. Hey, I carry Tappan for you know that. I am a powerful union leader. Remind that. Yes, I will, today evening itself, we will declare a strike and the whole activity will come to a standstill. You know that? I am the sunset of my life. Remember that. And I have my multiple health problems. Yeah. So you can't harass me. You keep quiet. So, oh, here is a challenging situation. I couldn't antagonize Antony because that will be a suicidal step, definitely. He is a very powerful union leader. And supervisor, no, I can't also antagonize because he is my subordinate and I have to extract work from him. So I kept a path and then gently I went to Antony. Antony, yes. Now Antony stood up. Welcome, sir. Now he was, yes, he got quietened. And he even smiled. Yes. And with all his politeness, he spoke. Sir, you look at the supervisor. He is giving me a dressing down. Yes. Am I not old? Have I not my hair turned grey? Yes. He doesn't have any least respect for my age at least. Oh, Antony, I will do one thing. Your health is our top priority. You cannot compromise your health condition. That is certain. And get quiet and revert to your original. First, you go and have your lunch. But Antony said, I knew him. He was a pious Christian, and I have seen him during the lunch hour, shuffling through the pages of Bible. So I knew it, and I also used to see a cross in his chest, adorning his chest. Now Antony said, sir, I am not taking the lunch. What happened to Antony? This is Lent, you know. The Easter Sunday is round the corner. I am a pious Christian. Oh, that is it. Antony, this is for information. I am not forcing you. Do like you cut the stones at your leisure. Okay? You need not speed up your walk. But I tell you, is what is the ultimate goal of a project? You know that. What is that, sir? See, in the residents of this area, predominantly Christian population, they don't have a church to attend Sunday Mass. So we are building a church. And above all, keep it strictly confidential. Archbishop will be coming and consecrating this church. Yes. But keep it with you because you are a Christian. I wanted to share this information with you. Because anyone, if you share a secret means, he will trim his collar. Oh, a man is sharing a secret with me. So I said, yes, so keep it strictly confidential. Sir, that this was beyond my knowledge, that building a church is the ultimate goal of our project. And I assure you, sir, I will ask all my fellow workers to speed up their work. Because, we have to build a church. We don't have any other work. Leave it to me. And I was assured of that because majority of the workers were Christian. So he said, and I told Antony, to take it. No, sir, no question of my health problem. It is more important, building a church. And sir, a little submission. What is that? In the Archbishop says, I want to seek his blessings. Will you please oblige me? He will try. So then he turned into human dynamo. Yes, he was a battered engine, but now he has turned into a human dynamo. That is strategic motivation. It was that paid dividends. Thank you all.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tyagarajan. As usual, you have made the grammarian work overtime. So now we have listened to 3 speeches of various styles. And if we could not distinguish between illusion and reality, I'm also with you because these are all brilliant speeches. Toastmaster Satish, do we have any timing disqualifications?
Sorry, Saranan.
Do we have any disqualifications with respect to time?
No.
Okay, thank you. Now, please note down your best speaker, and when the voting card comes, please cast your votes. Now we go on to the next session, that is the table topic session. But before introducing the person, I would like to say, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow is 26th April, and you know what the day is? It is World Intellectual Property Day. This is a day to raise awareness of how patents, copyright, trademarks, and designs impact daily life. Do I need to introduce a person who will be taking the TC session? Please put your hands to welcome DTM Sunil Jose.
Hello. Hi, good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, Sunil.
Yes. Thank you. So I would like to share PPT. So this session is on PPT. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for that introduction. I think after you introduced me as IP person, some of you are all frightened, like I'm coming up with yet another topic speak on intellectual property. So I could see some of them are trying to get up and run away. Anyway, thank you for you cutting short the introduction and allowing me to share what I'm going to do. Okay, let me share a screen right now. Okay, can you see the screen now? Can you see the screen? Yeah, okay, thank you. So my table topics session today basically are some pictures. So I wanted to have some changes. So I have selected some pictures today because I think every picture tells you a story. But you don't have to tell a story today. It's basically some pictures which I think gives you a lot of memories, some positive thinking, and some nostalgic feelings. So what you have to do, you don't have to even narrate what is in the picture. What you have to do, you have to think, or you have to share the thought which comes to your mind when you see the picture. It need not be related to the picture itself, but the picture obviously will give you some thoughts. So you have to speak on that. The timing is 1 to 2 minutes. So 1 minute is the minimum time. 1.5 minutes is the time when the amber card will be shown by the timer, and 2 minutes is the final time, and the red card will be shown as 2 minutes. You also get a 30 seconds grace time. So by 2:30, there will not be any further sign. So you have to finish the speech before 2:30 to 2:30 minutes. Okay, so I request whenever I call the people, guests and Toastmasters, please pin the timer, because basically timer, you have to speak within the time. That's the reason. So can we start now? All right, thank you. So I will show the first picture. Okay, so this is the first picture. So this is the first table topic session, topic. I would like to call Toastmaster Surya.
Yes, I'm available.
Yeah, Toastmaster Surya, this is the topic for you.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It's been a long time since attending meetings in Medley, especially. So thanks for that nice photo, DTM Sunil Jose. So this photo portrays the skill that Sunil Jose basically has. Don't look at the photo. Look at the bottom right-hand side. It is taken from BBC photo. So he's prominent person where he doesn't want to show off from where this picture is taken, right? He had told us many times. But when it comes to this particular photo, I could able to see some small bird. I do not know what variety of bird is this, but this looks like a photo that has been copyrighted by or shown in a Discovery Channel, probably. So a group of small birds looking up, probably waiting for their mother to bring some food to have a sumptuous meal. So that's what is their expectation, which I could able to see in that bird's face. In fact, yeah, thanks, Kavita. Really, these birds, as you said, these were looking for food, is what I came to understand from this picture. So over to you, PT Master.
Thank you. Thank you, Surya. So we'll go to the next slide. So I would like to call Toastmaster guest Sanjay.
Hi, okay. So it's been a while. All right. Can I have 30 seconds to just think about what I want to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't have to exactly talk on what is here. The thoughts comes to your mind. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So this reminds me of the time when things were a lot simpler, when there were no responsibilities, there were no tasks that had to be completed every day, there were no deadlines, there were no there was no pressure from anyone, and there used to be times when we could just go on a walk with a loved one, we'd go on a walk with a dog and not worry about a thing in the world, right? We lived in an illusion of a perfect world, and that is something that I really hope to relive every single day. And this is something that we all yearn to have at some point, right? Be it waiting for the Friday evening to get the freedom of the weekend, or waiting for retirement to get the freedom from job, or waiting for college to get freedom from studies. This photo signifies freedom for me. This photo signifies peace and freedom. And that is what I take away from here.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Sanjay. So this photo has another speciality, and so I'll show you that. So this is taken by our own DTM Thomas Abraham, and this is downloaded from his site. So if you want to see more photos of this, visit Thomas's site. Okay. So he doesn't know about this anyway. Okay. Now we'll go to the next photo. So this I would like to call Toastmaster Amita.
Yes.
Amita, are you there? Yeah.
Thank you for this wonderful picture. So I am a very emotional and a kind of person who loves to see the bond between people, and this really portrays how, in my opinion, these are just two siblings, and the elder sibling trying to cover the younger sibling with a huge leaf to protect him from the rain and all that. So although it looks like they're protecting, it also looks like they're like really enjoying themselves, and that is what I feel is the relationship between an actual sibling, where we can have fun in a very stormy situation. At the same time, you can pull each other's legs, and at no point, even though you pull each other's leg and fight with each other all the time, at the end of the day, they are going to protect you with the upper leaf, which they put on top of you, say, to guide you, to motivate you, to keep you from trouble or something. Like this leaf, I see it more like a shield than a leaf, like some, who knows, this can be an acid rain in my imagination, and the elder brother is actually trying to cover the younger brother off, and it's a whole happy scenario. And I see me and my sister walking there, to be honest, where except they are like brothers and their sisters. So I just see us in that picture. So this is a really nice picture, and I'm glad I got the opportunity to speak on it. Thank you so much, and over to you, Sri.
Thank you. Very lovely explanation, and actually got the correct idea about it. So let's go to the next picture. Okay. May I call guest Subhashini? Subhashini?
Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
What a lovely picture this is. I'm so reminded of course, my grandmother. But whereas I don't do this for her, she always asks me to tie my hair because they come from a different era where they believe in, tied hairs. So every time she sees my hair colored, she's always astonished and shocked as to why is it like, colorful? Why don't you apply oil and why don't you comb your hair? And she constantly keep talking about this to my mother as to why my mother also doesn't tell anything about it. Also, the love that we have for our grandmother is something that goes way beyond our imagination. I guess I'm so fond of my grandmother from the time I know my first shopping was with her, my first learning sessions of music was with her. So a lot of going around to temples and many vacations spent with my grandmother are so close to my heart. I really wish the next time I'm going to see her, I would really try combing her hair and taking care of her. I really look forward to seeing my grandmother right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Subhashini. I think I'm so happy that the photo served the purpose. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Now we are, so here is the next picture. We go to Toastmaster Dinesh. Toastmaster Dinesh is there?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. This is a wonderful picture taken by a person called John Drystay, where it almost shows the emotion between a huge structure, but still how tender it is in his heart in the form of a child. I remember the movie we all see, King Kong, where the giant creature falls in love with a beautiful girl. Just like that, this very photo depicts that even though how much big a person may be, but they are very tender in their heart. That is what this picture seems to be. And also one thing about elephants I have always I have read somewhere is that they take their steps very carefully. For example, if they are they may seem to be huge, they may seem to be reckless, but actually every step they take, they check if anything is there, if there's a cat, or even if there is a very small creature in the ground, they make sure that they do not touch anybody. But as we all know, sometimes elephants do get very reckless, and this picture really depicts that. I have seen as you would have seen in photos where the person who take care of the elephant sitting right next to its leg, and nothing happens to them because there is a bond between both of them. They know that there is an unspoken bond which connects both of them emotionally, and it's really so lovely that this photo depicts it. And this photo, although it seems to be taken a pretty long time ago, but it's really a lovely picture which depicts the relationship which transcends not only human beings, but also the bonding between human beings and animals. Thank you, and over to you, table topic
Thank
master.
you. Wow, lovely. Thank you so much, Dinesh. That's very nice to hear you. Then, okay, let's go to the next photo. Let me see the time. Yeah, okay. Let's go to the next photo. Okay, Toastmaster Venkatesh. Toastmaster Venkatesh is there. Toastmaster
I think he's
Venkatesh.
dropped out.
He's not there.
No, he isn't there.
Is it Venkatesh or Venkatesh?
No, Venkatesh hasn't joined. Could we go to
I
the
can
next
move on to
one?
the next person, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, I'll move to the next person then. Gus Priyanka. Yes, Priyanka, are you available?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
This you can talk on this picture.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, whatever comes to your mind. Okay.
Okay, sir. We all know that all over the world, all will celebrate a festival Holi. This picture portrays that, and our life should be colorful like this. All will face a sad situation or emotional situation, but we should overcome from it, and we should make our life colorful as much as possible. All are in this picture, all are enjoying very much. We all can see this. That's it, sir.
Okay, thank you, Priyanka. Okay, now we move on to, so Venkatesh is not here, right? Okay, Venkatesh is also not here. Okay, so we'll move on to the next person then. Okay, so this is the next picture. Toastmaster Prabhu.
Hello, Sunil.
Hi, Prabhu. So this
yes,
is a topic for you. Yeah.
It's somewhere in the Mauritius or Maldives where they have taken this one. I'm not sure, but it is especially for people they just want to hang out after the hangout in some remote locations or some part of the world. I could see that some chairs are putting behind some trees. The tree itself beautiful. I don't know what kind of tree is it. 4 to 5 chairs are there. The space is especially for people who just want to relax their life after that so much of stress they endured during their most part of the year. You can call it as it's a sunset place where we can go and hang out with our friends or with our families or with if it is a newly married those who are in the relationship, they can go and hang out these places. It keeps me remind me of Mauritius, if I am not wrong, or else it would be in some Caribbean island. I don't know where it is, but it's a beautiful picture. It's a lovely picture, but it's not the Maldives because Maldives water is full of blue. It's not this kind of, I didn't see this kind of water anywhere in the NDT because the NDTV is the one who is portraying that Maldives pictures regularly in its site. Over to you, Sunil.
Fantastic, Prabhu. I think we got a lot of information. General knowledge plus a lot of information. I think you should be a travel agent or tourist agent. Okay. Now we'll go to the last speaker. Just Kavita. Kavita?
Yeah, Sunil, thank you. Thank you for this wonderful pic. Sure. I was eagerly waiting by seeing all your pictures. Should I be, will you call me? Will you call me? I was eagerly awaiting. Thank God I got a chance. This picture depicts how lovely the childhood would be. How innocently they help each other. Wordlessly, emotionally, we connect with our childhood. Such a lovely moments we can call by seeing this picture. I'm going back to my childhood days. How my brother will take care of me by plucking a lot of palm fruits from the palm tree during the summer season, and we play in the river and we swim for an hours and hours tirelessly with all our friends. I really recall my childhood days, which my brother brought to me ever green memories to me. This is a lovely picture. This might be taken way back in 90s. The color shows in gray and black, and that the picture, the phone was the oldest one, so should be almost in last decade, 1950s or 40s. Might be the picture would have taken, and not in India. It would have taken in some other country. And it is really lovely to see. It was hangout on the tree. There were no stone. Nowadays we are having cement pillars and stone pillars, but they have used tree as a pillar here. So lovely picture of helping each other and childhood memory. Thanks for this picture, Sunil James. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you again. I'm very happy that I could bring in some nostalgic moments from your life. So my allotted time is over now. So I had a lot of picture, but so I would like to thank you with this this smile. Okay, there is a story behind this. I'll tell you later because otherwise it will hit me if I start talking about copyright again. Thank you so much. Over to you. Over to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Sunil, for the thought-provoking session. Do you know something? The dreaming enhances creativity. So if you want to do well in TT, please do dream, but don't dream during the TT session. You will be disqualified. Okay. So we move on to the next session, that is evaluation session. You know, evaluation and feedback or the breakfast of the champions. So to bring out that session, I would like to call upon DTM Sampath. Please put your hands to welcome DTM Sampath.
Good afternoon once again, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So we are back to the evaluation session, and first of all we will finish the specific project evaluations. The first speech to be considered today is by DTM VNS about a cross-cultural relationship, and that will be evaluated by Toastmaster Jagan, who has made a niche for himself as an evaluator in the last several months. He was born and brought up in Chennai, has a degree in mechanical engineering. He is learning to play guitar, violin, and the keyboard. He believes evaluation has to be like rain.
Sir, your sound is breaking.
Am I audible now?
And your sound is not clear, breaking.
I don't know really, because the signal may be the problem in that case. Okay. He says about evaluation that he believes evaluation has to be like the rain. It's a very nice simile he has given. Never strong enough to erode the soil, but adequate enough to nurture growth. A very good simile. Now let us listen to Toastmaster Jagan's evaluation. Welcome, Toastmaster Jagan.
Thank you, DTM Sampath. I must confess one thing today. This project was not only difficult for the speaker, DTM VNS, it was also difficult for me and a challenging one to evaluate such different speeches from the pathways. DTM VNS delivered his speech from the strategic relationship path, level 2, project 2, cross-cultural understanding. His title was Identity Crisis. The positives of this speech is starting off, when you read the manual, it gives you step by step to go through the speech. The first thing that DTM VNS did, and successfully, is to define culture. Now, from where his understanding of culture. So he started off with the language, and he ended with Toastmasters culture. So the his understanding of culture was very well brought out by using examples. So he started off with the bilingual club, his experience in Bahrain, and then he ended up with a Toastmasters culture. So he defined the culture, which is given in the manual. The second thing that I liked it is that his understanding of the cultural diversity that there is. So the diversity in terms of differences as well as similarities. Now, if you remember, when he was explaining his experience in the Bahrain club, he mentioned that there were people from the Arabic states. There were people from Pakistan, from Bahrain, and he himself, and all of them were talking in English. Now, this is giving us differences and at the same time understanding the similarities in us as culture. Now, the third thing that I see as positive is his open and being mindful of all of our diverse cultural diversity. With his experience in talking about the bilingual Toastmasters Club, he started off with Tamilu through Toastmasters Club, and then he went on to his experience. So he was aware and being mindful of the diversities. The fourth thing that I see is his welcoming attitude. The attitude that he showed when he was delivering the speech. It was a difficult topic and a difficult project, and he was open enough and he was welcoming of his own cultural differences. Where could he have done better? With respect to this project, the project specifically mentions understanding the stereotypes of your own culture. Stereotypes is specifically defined in the project, and the speaker, DTM VNS, did not delve into the stereotypes of his own culture, or whatever in the stereotypes that are attached to being a bilingual club or being a Toastmasters culture as such. So what are the stereotypes? The second thing is, of course, the personal impact of those stereotypes. The manual specifically mentions understanding your own stereotype, the stereotype attached to your culture, and the impact that the speaker faced because of those stereotypes. So these are the two things that specifically mentioned in the manual that I could not witness in today's speech. But overall, to sum it up, DTM VNS defined what is culture in his understanding. He was understanding the cultural diversity and the experiences that he mentioned. He was open and mindful. He was aware and welcoming attitude that he had towards his topic. If he could have mentioned about the stereotypes of his own culture and the personal impact that he felt because of the stereotypes, this project would have been complete. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you very much. The second evaluator, Toastmaster Shankar, will be evaluating the speech of Toastmaster Pranav Sudarshan concerning the event management. Toastmaster Shankar is working in a multinational bank as Assistant Vice President in Finance domain. So let us welcome Toastmaster Shankar to give his evaluation.
Thank you, General Evaluator. There is a famous quote says that well planned is half done. The quote is really apting for Toastmaster Pranav, what you done as a contest master in an online meeting. Let me see what are the project objective. Delegate task is one of the asks for this project. Your speech, it's clearly evident that you have selected the right people at the right time. I'm very sure you have identified the people from our own medley like Ranga, Mogada Sundaram and Sundaresan, and you have prized and appreciated those people in the forum like this. Great job. The next very important aspect of this event is risk assessment. Any project or activity, if you start, it will have their own risk. It's not very easy to identify the risk and mitigate the risk in the given situation. Since it was a first time happening contest as an online meeting like Zoom, I'm very sure that you have rightly assessed the risk, like what happened if the technical issue happened or Zoom fails or any other network issue, and you have mitigated the issue with the backup resource. For example, timer role is critical and crucial in any Toastmasters meeting, especially for contest meeting. What happened if the timer has an issue and you have the backup resource for the timer? Well, good move, brilliant move. It clearly shows that how you meticulously you have planned for the event. Next, in terms of the positive side, I really loved the way your speech. It's not like that you need to deliver the speech or the project. It's like sharing your own experience and what you face the challenge during the time. And I can easily witness from your tone, facial expression and body language. Secondly, I really amazed the way you had the dramatized or setting the contest with, you had the conversation with Thomas sir. And also for every Toastmasters meeting, we'll have definitely for the points of improvement. Number one, the project also require the tool for planning, like what are the activities you have done, the breakup for activity with the timeline and how you have executed the activity. I felt that you have not shared that experience. And also how the contest had been communicated to outside of the medley, like other forums like social media and other forum. I think you have missed to cover that point. Lastly, it's really good to ask the questions in the online meeting, and you done at the beginning of the speech. However, you have not given the adequate time to receive the response from the audience. Overall, and summary, one of the excellent speech from your side, Pranav, in terms of confidence, body language, and narrating the experience. However, if you would share the checklist, marketing plan, and allowing the audience to think to response, the next speech would be one of the best speeches ever. Over to G.
Thank you very much. Today's third speech was given by Toastmaster Tyagarajan, and this is about leading in any situation, a level 5 project, and that will be evaluated by Toastmaster Kalyan. He is a past Medley president and a past division director. He is a very well-known leader and a very regular Toastmaster who doesn't miss many meetings just for the heck of it. Now he says evaluation is the one thing that connects all the dots in Toastmasters. Let us invite Toastmaster Kalyan to present his evaluation.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster Sampath Soudarajan. I really got the pun in what you said about my regularity and my attendance. Thank you very much for that point taken. VP, please note. My dear fellow Toastmasters, a very good evening to one and all. A leader is a one who walks the talk. I'm a very strong believer on that. A leader is a one who walks the talk. Today, Toastmaster Tyagarajan proved he is a leader who walks the talk. I'll tell you why. When the second speaker was on the stage, the virtual stage, I called the Toastmaster of the day and I told, hey, look, my speaker is not there. Before that, I called the VP, hey, look, the speaker is not there. And then there, bang on, he comes in, clearly proves to the project objective to lead yourself in any given situation. He has been trying, he had got some connectivity issues, he just tried. Probably if somebody would have dropped off in between and comfortably said, no, I'm dropping off, it would have been much more easier for a person like Toastmaster Tyagarajan to say, but he tried his level best. He clearly exercised his walking the talk. What I mean by walking the talk is what happened. His speech was fully about how a situational leadership happens, how a strategy is being used in a situation. So today's leadership is all about situational leadership, though he mentioned about informational, external motivatives and everything, but he exercised how a situational leadership is very possible by entering into the meeting, but what happened exactly into his career when he was just handling that particular project down south in Tirunelveli. One particular thing I want to mention here, this I've also seen Tyagarajan in when way back in Koturbaram, that is some 5-7 years before, how his situational leadership has always been handled, be in Toastmasters and in his career life, and how he had handled situational leadership is a beautiful thing. Today or any day, the future is for storytellers. Tyagarajan beautifully narrated his life, his incident, his speech as a beautiful story. I was wondering, 8 to 10 minute speech, will I have patience to listen to an 8 to 10 minute speech? Because a general evaluator told how sincere a Toastmaster I am. Will I have patience to listen to an 8 to 10 minute speech is what I was wondering, but believe me, I never even realized that many amount of time went in. Beautiful speech weaving. Not to mention about the speech or the word usage. When I joined Toastmaster, Tyagarajan sir, when he started writing, all whatever words he will speak as I will not even know those words. Even today, that is the same case. Certain words, the grammarian will come and say about it. Let me not take the job of the grammarian here. Beautifully weaved speech, speaking about a strategic relationship, how a situation can be handled. One recommendation here alone, what I can bring in is, the project objective clearly says how you handled that particular project and then how you did a 360-degree evaluation and then to present it that particular, to get that into the speech. That stops there, the speech stops there on what he did. If at all an evaluation would have come in and got into the speech, it would have been a complete with respect to the project evaluation or the project guidelines. Otherwise, beautiful speech. Thank you very much, Tyagarajan, for that particular message of situational and strategic leadership. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you very much. Mr. Timer, can you tell who are the qualified evaluators? Toastmaster Satish. The three evaluators, all of them are qualified, or
Yeah,
all of them are qualified?
yeah, all of them are qualified.
No,
And
last 3 minutes, 30 seconds.
yeah, can you tell the names?
No, all of them are qualified. Okay.
All of them qualified except Priyanka.
No, I'm not talking about table topic. I'm talking about three evaluators.
Evaluators, yeah, all of them are qualified.
If you started, you tell that also. The table topic, just Priyanka is overshot, is it?
Sorry, sir, I didn't get. Should I read out?
Table topic, all of them are qualified, or anybody not qualified? Because you started telling, I wanted you to complete.
In table topics, one person is not qualified.
Okay. Can you tell the name of the qualified order?
Qualified people are Surya, Sanjay, Amita, Subhashini, Dinesh, Prabhu, and Kavita.
Okay. Friends, you can mentally note the best table topic speaker and the best evaluator. Keep it ready. When the voting panel comes, you can use it. Thank you very much. Now, quickly talking about the three evaluators, Toastmaster Jagan did a very good job about clearly listing the positives. Very good observations are shown during this evaluation. And the improvable also, the important improvable about stereotype he mentioned. Very good job there. Then Toastmaster Shankar, he also did a detailed analysis. And in fact, I would rate his evaluation as more of a project evaluation and only a smaller part as the speech evaluation itself. Well done, Toastmaster Shankar. Then coming to Kalyan, there was no pun intended because I didn't talk about your recent attendance over a long period of time. I'm telling how regular you are. And your walk the talk is a very good way of starting the evaluation. But I thought you bit too much time was spent on the beginning. Otherwise, you have also done a good analysis and also you have told the improvables. So thank you all the evaluators. Now let us come to the parametric evaluators. Can you have the timers detailed report quickly, please? All the times taken by the different speakers and evaluators. Mr. Timer.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you see the screen?
Okay, do you have anything to say? How are we on the overall time till now? Okay, thank you very much. Let us now go to the R counter, Toastmaster Aishwarya Lakshmi. Please stop the screen sharing. Toastmaster Aishwarya Lakshmi, please.
Yeah. Please let me know once my screen is visible. Is it visible, sir? Okay. So I'm back with my report. Here are the filler words used in today's session. Toastmaster Saravanan used so thrice, but once, you know once. And Toastmaster Sambat sir used once. VNS sir used once. And Sunil Jo sir used twice. And so once. Surya sir used thrice. You know once. Yeah once. And Amita, Toastmaster Amita used so twice, and you know once. Guest Subhashini used you know once and once. Dinesh, Toastmaster Dinesh used once, once, and once. Guest Priyanka used once, twice, and once. Toastmaster Prabhu used once, once, and twice. So yeah, so I'm really happy to announce that Toastmaster Pranav TR Tyagarajan sir and guest Sanjay and Toastmaster Kalyan had zero filler words in their speech today. A big round of applause for them. and 50% of the participants used art many times, and 17% used many times. And so you can see the detailed report. I'll ping this in the chat. Thank you, Toastmasters. Over to you, Sambat sir.
DTM Sampath, you are on mute.
Because of some sounds coming, I muted whether it was from me. Okay, let us now invite the grammarian, DTM Thomas Abraham, to present his report.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First up, an apology for a bad mistake I made. The spelling of illusion, when I made it in 200 points, you know, when the copywriter becomes the artist, this happens. It is, doctor is laughing, ILLUSION. Thank you, Kalyan, for pointing it out. Kalyan sees everything.
No, I have seen your.
Sure, of course. Thank you. Thank you very much for your tolerance, for your condoning, for your helping me, all your good virtues. I appreciate. Two people used the word of the day. DTM VNS used illusion, and the illusion's cousin called disillusion. TMOD Saravanan used illusion. Thank you for that. Now, on to some of the good expressions, and like some insightful Toastmaster, senior Toastmaster said, my cup has been overflowing today. So I needed to do a lot of separation to give out the interesting parts to you. Dreams Unlimited itself was very, very Hollywood style, 70 mm. I liked it. Bizarre. Bizarre is used, but of all, I mean, not often used, most aptly used today. Also, power to make any dream come true. The combination had its kind of gravitas, I thought. And then, of course, dream and nightmare. We now know the opposite, so to say. VNS talked about dreams are precipitated from their residue. Fantastic. Take some time. It's like heady wine. You need to dilute and have it. Next, culture has an inseparable link with language. Equally pithy. Third, you cannot be liberated from culture. Compliments. Pranav talked about a very important truth, more than the phrase. Teamwork is important, team selection even more. I thought managers should note that. Shakespeare relative Toastmaster Tyagarajan, he said, tongue is mighty than sword. What a bit of borrowing. He pushed the pen out and brought tongue. It fitted like a glove there. Fantastic. Then he talked about intrinsic, extensive, intrinsic, and strategic motivation. It's management. Propelling force. Shuffle through the pages. It's very, visual. You can almost hear that noise of that ruffling of the noise. You can rustle of the noise you can hear. Then prudence and patience. Hamlet, not used anymore. Not the tragic hero. Hamlet has village, another word for a very rustic sound for village, I thought. Then, heated worldly duel, lazy and lethargic. Care tuppence for you. I like that. This is old British language, which says, I don't care a bit for you. Care tuppence for you. At the sunset of my life, consecrate as against desecrate. Human, battered engine becomes human dynamo. I mean, it's, I don't know, it's thermodynamics or what dynamic? Mechanical? I don't know what it is. Very good. It's been a while, said Sanjay. There's a nice flow about it when you explain your absence by saying, it's been a while. Not worry about a thing in the world. That abandon, Sanjay brought out. Amita, a whole happy scenario. The two kids walking. Subhashini, goes way beyond our imagination. It's also the way they put it that makes it so poetic, I thought. Kavita, wordlessly, we connect with our childhood because Sunil had removed all words in his topics. So she said, wordlessly, we connect with our childhood. Then evaluation is like rain. That's from our evaluator. Eroding versus refreshing. I didn't hear the original phrase, but the metaphor I thought was powerful. Then leader walks the talk. The crispness, You can almost hear the marching tune in that. It's onomatopoeia. It is sound effect also. Now, some of the points where we can do better. One is welcome with big hands. No, unless it's a handshake by a big guy, it should be welcome with a big hand. Single hand will do. Secondly, I told about you. No, I told someone about you. Told always has an audience. I said is okay. I said about that. I told someone about that. Told has to be accompanied by a noun. Then, first time happening contest in Zoom. First ever time contest in Zoom. Happening is already implied in the first time. So it could be first ever time contest on Zoom. Then I really amazed. I am really amazed. Amazed. I am really amazed. One of the excellent speech. Same thing I saw elsewhere. One of the veteran Toastmaster DTM Nina John. One of the means from a group. So it has to be a plural. Very generic, normal mistakes we make. So one of the excellent speeches and one of the veteran Toastmasters, DTM Nina John. If I have exceeded the time, please disqualify me. I don't want someone to take extra time and claim the ribbon as against others who are disciplined. I mean it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Friends, you please decide whom you want to vote as the best attack player and keep it in mind. The timer, Toastmaster Satish, accounter, Toastmaster Aishwarya Lakshmi, and the grammarian, DTM Abraham, Thomas Abraham. Okay, I just have one or two comments about this tab. See, this screen share is difficult for everybody to follow. The screen share should be sent in our WhatsApp group. But you should know how to highlight the most significant aspects, just like our grammarian did today. He didn't share a screen. So this is always a better way to do it because you will have a lot of talking. This is the essence of Toastmaster. You have to come and communicate. You have to express yourself, not just to show a screen and then just to see it or make a list of what is there in the screen. So please try to learn this. The screen is a very good tool, but send it in the group. But even if you put it on the sharing, you should talk. You should highlight the most significant points, salient points only. Okay, and coming to the before coming to the meeting evaluation, in the beginning I said evaluation is the fourth most important thing in Toastmasters. Did anyone wonder what are the other three? We have already done the first one. First one is most important in Toastmasters is learning by doing, which most of us are doing. Some of us are doing less often, but most of us are doing. The second one is learning by observing others doing. Unfortunately, this is not done that well because a lot of people are absent when they don't have a role. So you have to make it a point to be attending maximum number of meetings so that you can learn secondhand by observing others. And the third, the most important thing is the preventive is better than cure. Mentoring is better than evaluation. If you have got very good mentoring, the evaluator will have very little job to do, except commending you all the time. So it is learning by doing, learning by observing others doing, mentoring before you do something, and the evaluation after you do something to make use of the feedback to improve the next time when you come to perform. Now, about the meeting, today's Sergeant did a very crisp business-like work. Congratulations to Master Mohan Sundram. And then the president came on scene. President did it very well. In fact, sometimes the dignitaries and the founder members are missed. Today he didn't miss them. He did a good job. And he did a good, crisp introduction of the Toastmaster of the day also. And he told a short story about art of listening, which is a very important aspect in Toastmaster. And then the Toastmaster of the day, Saravanan, when Dreams Unlimited, he went into dream analysis sort of thing. It's a very big version. So for a lot of people, it is an illusion. So, but it seems for Saravanan, it's a reality. Maybe. Because dreams are anyway dreams and they are God. this type of dream. The other type of dream we talk about in Toastmasters, that is also unlimited. Those dreams, that is your projected, prophesied reality, that is called a dream also. Now coming to the table topics master, DTM Sunil came up with a very interesting photograph. But one thing, 2 points which I will tell him is, the beginning he talked quite a bit loosely instead of giving a crisp introduction to the table topic session and moving on. And about the picture session, he could have done a demo with one picture just to see on seeing the picture, the table topic speaker should think of a word or a phrase. Once he does that, he develops that. So some of them were meandering here and there, trying to narrate something, looking at the photograph. That is not making very good table topic. So that could have helped. So overall, the meeting was very good. I congratulate all the people while handing over the Toastmasters.
Thank you, DTM Sambal Saurajan, for the detailed evaluation session. So with this, we have come to the third important section for this particular meeting. Now, we will just vote for the best performers today whenever the vote card comes. So you can vote for speakers, role players, TT speaker, evaluator, and tag player. Now we go on to the next section, which is very important. And if your dream is to negotiate corporate Cs to reach greater heights, then you have to listen to this session. For this session, this is an educative, interactive education session on mentoring a Toastmasters journey. For this, I would like to welcome DTM Nina John, our current District 120 Mentor Pool Chair. Please put your hands to welcome Nina John.
Toastmasters, and a special thank you to Medleys for inviting me here. It's an absolute pleasure being here. And it's on one of those rare occasions where I'm wondering what I should talk, because there are so many senior heavyweights over here. And at the other end of the spectrum, there are absolute beginners. So whom do I really talk to? That is the question. There's an old saying, when the time is ready, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And I think that is so true of Toastmasters. We have had demo meetings, we've had print ads, we've had radio talks, and a year later, 2 years later, somebody turns up and says, you know, I heard that talk on the radio 2 years ago. You know, I attended a demo meet in my college 1.5 years ago. And from that time, I've been planning to come to Toastmasters. And the rest of us are like, what stopped you? But unless you feel ready to join Toastmasters, you will not join. It's exactly like dieting. Nobody goes on a diet because their mother tells them to or their boyfriend tells them to. They go on a diet when they feel they are ready to. The same thing happens with Toastmasters. You have to be aware of the fact that Toastmasters come in many different shapes, sizes, and forms. So when they enter a meeting, a guest for the first time enters a meeting like Medleys and looks at those seasoned speakers, some sprinkled with gray and pepper hair and others young, fresh out of college, and yet great orators. And the guest says, oh my God, I must learn how to speak like X or Y or Z. And they walk up to that person after the meeting is over and say, please, will you be my mentor? Now that particular mentor or speaker may have had 5 years of experience, 15 years of experience, 15 weeks of experience. And they will be so flattered because somebody said, oh, will you be my mentor? That they jump at the chance, regardless of how much they actually know about Toastmasters. And this is what happens when the illusion of being a great speaker gives you the idea that somebody is a great mentor. Leadership, mentorship, none of these have anything to do with just plain public speaking. Public speaking is a skill anyone can pick up, and that's what we do in Toastmasters. We teach you how to speak, deliver a good speech in public, deliver a good speech at your office meeting, be able to speak articulately, effectively. But while good communication skills are an essential feature of life, they do not guarantee good leadership. And good leadership, on the other hand, effective leadership cannot have an impact without good communication skills. And this is exactly where the mentor's role comes in. Each club has a different way of assigning mentors to new guests, and we have to decide which is the most effective for our club. Senior clubs like Medleys and my own CTM have a broader bandwidth in terms of senior mentors, in people who have taken up both contests leadership and leadership in the district roles, and therefore are able to assign mentors for young guests or new guests when they come in. But how is that mentorship relationship carried on? The first duty of a mentor, as far as I see it, is to make the protege grow, which means you introduce them into the club. You introduce them to what is a club, how does it function, what can you do as a speaker. So it is the mentor who handholds and guides the protege through at least the first 3 to 6 months, explaining what are all the different roles, and with the help of the VPE, getting the protege assigned to some of these roles once they feel comfortable. Usually the first set of roles that are set are the timer, the hour counter, and the grammarian, because these involve speaking for just 2 minutes, usually from a script, and therefore is less terrifying as a prospect for the beginner speaker. But even here, I would request the mentors, don't just say, okay, take up the mentor role, take up this role, take up that role, and do all of these things. They should handhold them through this process and say, this is what the mentor's role involves, this is what should be done, and this is how you should do it. Ensure that the speaker does that role at least a couple of times so that they're comfortable and they understand the timer's role is not just to time different speakers, but also understand the role of the timer. It is the timer who keeps the entire meeting under control by signaling. For example, if a president or a senior member, such as a grammarian, has taken too much time, that is the role of the timer, to keep the meeting on the rails. So understand that there is more to a timer than just timing different speeches. When the mentor explains that, the protege understands that there are different ways in which this can be done. Practice often enough, you can be a timer at a contestant where timing is really, really crucial. And that's where the mentor comes in again. It is up to the mentor to help the protege grow, as I said, first by taking smaller roles, then easing into other roles such as table topic speaker, evaluator, and speaker would of course be in the next level, but it really depends on each person because each person is so different in terms of background, in terms of language skills, in terms of maturity levels, that there are no hard and fast rules that say you must do your first speech straight away. It is between the mentor, the protege, and the VPE to decide that sequence. The second thing I would say is what I call the second principle: the mentor must help the protege to glow, which means help the protege shine, give them opportunities, Tell them to become part of, for example, the VP Education's extension team. Help them in terms of, handing out roles, booking roles. Help them help the VPPR in terms of designing flyers. Do different things that will help the mentee take a responsible position as part of the club and get a sense of ownership. When this happens, the protege is much more likely to involve him or herself into the inner workings of the club. So as a result, they will be willing to take up responsibility. B, they will help out current people. And 3, they get a sense of identity as a club member. So what happens then? Remember, there is life outside the club. So within the club, let me take that section first because that is so, so important. Within the club, I would request mentors to be very sure about the areas they cover. The first of these is the pathways. Now we have 11 different pathways, but how many of our mentors, A, know the pathways, and B, know which pathway is the best for their protege? When the person comes in and says, oh, I'm a software engineer, which do you think will be a better project for him? Will it be presentation mastery? Will it be effective leadership? Will it be innovative planning? It really depends on the person and the position that they hold in a particular organization. So it's a combination of all these factors. So sit and discuss which path is suitable for you. Show them the entire path and get some idea of how you can align these with their career goals. And I cannot stress this enough. Mentors, please show your mentees what are the takeaway values and principles that you have with Pathways. Pathways is really designed for a corporate career. So there are electives such as conducting online meetings, having a blog, doing a podcast, doing so many different things, which they're probably, if they're millennials, already doing. If they're part of a corporate setup, they're probably doing this over there. These can be marked down as the elective, so they do not need to worry about doing each elective only when they reach levels 3 and 4, but be with them for levels 1 and 2, because these are basic and generic to all the paths. Another thing that I would like mentors to take care of is understanding the fact that some of the electives, such as the HPL and perhaps even a DTM, require long-term planning. So they might require you to initiate a project 3 months, 6 months, 8 months ahead of time so that you can get on with it. So both the mentor and the mentee need a holistic view of each path. It is also up to the mentor to explain what is the club structure, and when elections come up every 6 months, explain what are the roles and responsibilities, explain how a club meeting is conducted. A lot of this we have learned and absorbed by a process of osmosis almost, and that's how we learned it. But it does require a certain amount of reading. Encourage your proteges to look at the club constitution, to look at the leadership handbook, to look at the TMI website. There's a wealth of material there which none of us have really tapped the way it should, be done. And I would encourage both mentor and mentee to do that. Along with the club interaction, I would request you to push your mentees and proteges into inter-club interaction. Participate in clubs that are, intra-club activities, go outside of the club when there is an area contest, volunteer to be the Zoom master or the timer or a tally counter. These are all invaluable experiences that take your protege out of the club cubicle view and gives them some idea of what Toastmasters is all about. And when they do that, they get this wider perspective. And as Sanjay was mentioning earlier, reverberations, ovations, these are lifetime experiences for any Toastmaster. Encourage your mentees to do that. Encourage your mentees to understand the bigger picture as far as Toastmasters is concerned. I'm sure if I ask you just now, and probably you can put the answers in the chat box, are area directors elected or selected? You can write the answers down if you want. Are division directors elected or selected? Those of you who know the answer, please go ahead and put it in the chat box. I will have a look at them later. But what I am saying is most people do not even know what are the basics of the Toastmaster structure. So understand that it is your duty as a mentor to ensure that this will happen. So we need to make sure that our proteges, our mentees understand the entire process. And this, the only way we can do it is by doing it ourselves. I always say, if you want to learn, you must teach. If you want to learn all about Toastmasters, become a mentor, because a Toastmasters journey doesn't end with getting a DTM or becoming a district officer and thinking that's the end of the world. It is not. It is a continuous onward journey, and Toastmasters is the only place where we actively promote the triple L concept, lifelong learning. And I want all our mentors to understand that, because there is no limit to learning, and there is no rule that says you will only learn from seniors or people who are quote unquote superior to you. You can be a senior person and you can learn so much from your mentees. You can learn how to call your better contesting principles. You can learn how to run a club better. You can learn innovation, creativity, technology, so much of this from your mentees and from reaching out to the widest set of people that you can have. And that's the beauty of Toastmasters. Diversity. We had a talk on culture and stereotypes. Toastmasters helps you to smash every single stereotype, because you do not interact with other cultures, you interact with other human beings and discover that we are the same everywhere. We learn so much in terms of, as your second speaker said, how to do it in terms of running a project, leadership, in terms of how we do this and how we get on with getting that done. The planning, the organizing, the team selection, lovely acronym over there, POTS, planning, organizing, team selection. I'm going to use that in the future. So Toastmasters is what teaches us all this, but then it is the mentor who helps with the team selection. It is the mentor who, for example, in this case, Thomas Abraham, who told this young gentleman, no, you must be the contest master. And that's how Pranav took it up. That's what a mentor's role is. So you can be an individual mentor and you can help people discover the potential that they never knew that they had. That's really what Toastmasters is all about. And so I would request all of you to remember, these are the things you can do. And my personal formula as far as Toastmasters is concerned is, as far as I said earlier, with the time comes the teacher. And when the student is really ready, the teacher goes. So my mentoring formula is help your mentee to grow, help your mentee to glow, and then help your mentee to go. Because it is only when they leave you for a higher plane that you have really done your duty. So that's what I would request all of you to do. Understand the fact that your duty, you do not have an umbilical cord with your mentees forever. Both of you need to understand when it is time to part ways. Do it amicably. You can have mentees. I have mentees after 6 years calling up and saying, is it okay if I stand for division director? That is what mentorship is all about, not daily script writing and proofreading. It has to be a much deeper relationship and a greater degree of respect. So, ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters of Medley, I will end now with those words. Keep your mentees in mind. Remember, when you start, you may have a lot of illusions and you may delude yourself into a lot of things and you might get disillusioned. But remember, Mentoring is the most rewarding activity that you can have. And I would request all of you to please take up mentoring. Those of you who are senior mentors, please take up the Professional Pathways Toastmaster badge. And with that, I'm leaving the floor open for questions. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Neera John. If we have any questions for DTM Neera John, please.
DTM Neena, you mentioned about some badges. Can you just, in the last part of your...
Apart from your regular Pathways badges, there is a Toastmasters Pathways Mentor badge. So that is a totally different part. The first part, actually, all of you have done. If you have the level 2, you've done being a protege. So what was it like being a protege? So all of you at level 2 would have finished that. There are 2 further speeches. One is a minimum 3-month assignment where you mentor somebody, and after that you give a speech. After that, there is advanced mentoring, where again you have a commitment for about 6 months, and then you deliver a speech after that. You have your resident expert, DTM Sampath Sauri Rajan, who has all the manuals and all the PDFs that you'll spend half an hour in Pathways TI website. Yeah, the simplest way of running your life is to ask Sampath Sauri Rajan, sir, please may I have those PDFs? So please get those badges, because it's a fabulous decoration, embellishment to your Toastmasters profile.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for clarifying that.
Questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
This is Raka.
Yes,
there are some members who feel a little bit awkward when they have to switch mentors. What is the easiest way to do this without hurting the mentor or the mentee?
One is you need to be clear about why you want to shift, right? The other thing is please get over the fact that you're stuck with one mentor forever and ever after. Each of us as senior mentors have probably a different domain expertise, as they say. So some may be very good at helping you with contests. And within that also, there may be some who are very good at helping you with humorous contests. So you may want mentoring for just a few speeches with them, or you want any of those things. Your mentor may be very good at contests, but not very good at the leadership aspect. So I know clubs, for example, that have a separate mentor for leadership and for communication. It's up to the club to decide. If you have what I would call temperamental incompatibility, you feel you're not getting on with the mentor for whatever reason, I would suggest you first discuss it with your VPE, locate another likely mentor, discuss with them, and then if that other person has decided, and please remember, we have a mentor pool, so you can please feel free to reach out to us. If you want to change your mentor completely from your club and maybe even your division, and you want to look at somebody from another division also, then what happens is, then I would suggest, if you have decided, if both of you have decided that you will be taken on as a protege and a mentee, speak to your first mentor and say, sir, this is the thing, sir/madam, this is the thing. I feel that I would like to continue on this path, and I think the so-and-so will help me better. Or you don't even need to give the name of the other person. You just say, at the moment, I don't think I'm comfortable with you, or at the moment, I would like to try another path. And therefore, I would request you to let me get another mentor. If you tell them, it's always better. I mean, the whole point of being Toastmasters is you learn professional courtesies. So I would say professional courtesies. Don't worry. I've had plenty of experiences where somebody says, oh, I worship the ground you walk on. And then the next speech that they delivered after I have scripted is something so totally different that I'm like, were you on Mars and was I on Venus when we did that script together? So don't worry, that also happens.
No, the most common incompatibility is with respect to time availability. So that should not create a problem at all, because if you say that your time and my time are not matching, it's simple enough. If not, it is personal incompatibility. One nice way of doing it is to have additional mentors instead of changing the mentors.
Sorry?
To have additional mentors instead
Yes.
of changing the mentors.
Yes. So that is not a problem, yeah. Any other questions? If you have any questions, feel free to send them across to me. I think half your club has my number and my email ID, so you can send it anytime, no problem. Any other questions? In that case, I'd say thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me here to Medleys. And I know Medleys is one of the senior club. We look forward to your cooperation in building up our mentor pool. And I would like to say, I really like the standard of your evaluations. And I think mentors are directly responsible for the quality of evaluations, and the quality of evaluations are directly responsible for the quality of the club. So congratulations on your evaluations, congratulations on the level of your club, and congratulations to the mentors as they are. Back to you, Toastmaster Day.
Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Dina John, for that insightful and wonderful session. I'm sure there are a lot of key takeaways for everybody to learn. Lifelong learning, and I'm very sure that everybody will take up that. With this, we have come to the end of the session, and we have 4 brilliant sessions today. And I would like to hand it over to the president to conclude the proceedings.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. What a wonderful session. It was like a journey of dreams coming into reality, and a lot of understanding on a new topic, what DREAM stands for. An excellent session, Toastmaster. Let's give him a big round of applause. Now I have opened the polling. I request everyone, all the members present, to vote. And now we'll have a quick interactive session with the guests to get their feedback.
Raghu, I'm sorry, we're not unable to vote. Don't keep making me the host. Thank you.
No, you're not the host, Thomas.
I'm not. It's not responding.
You'll have to scroll down.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Not happening.
Guest Priyanka, would you like to share how you felt the whole session?
Yes, sir. I feel it was a very interesting, and it will be very useful for me, and I to make it so useful as possible, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Subhashni, would you like to share your view on how the meeting went? And
I'm at a meeting.
Introduce yourself also, because Priyanka has been attending as a guest for last 2 times. Subhashni, you're there? If you're there, you're on mute. Meanwhile, let me go to Prabhu. You're there, Prabhu? Right. Okay. Okay. Let me. Okay. Now, since they are, let me announce today's winner. The best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Jagan. Congratulations. And the best table topic goes to Toastmaster Amita. Congratulations, Amita. The best tag player goes to DTM Thomas as grammarian. And the best role player goes to DTM Sunil Jose as the table topic master. Congratulations. And now let me announce the best speaker. It goes to Toastmaster Pranav in explaining the experience, his personal experience. What a wonderful session, what a wonderful set of speeches. And I from my heart and on behalf of Medley, let me thank DTM Nina in taking your time and explaining the lifelong journey of a Toastmaster and the human touch that you get into that thing, and especially not just mentoring. It is more about what Toastmasters is all about and how each role is better in your learning. And that's something which to me as a person has helped me in my Toastmaster journey, meeting with a lot of excellent personalities and the clubs like Medley and Chennai. A wonderful meeting which will be remembered in Medley's meeting. And I thank you, DTM, and once again for accepting our invitation and being part of our meeting. With this imaginary gavel, let me close the meeting number 622 and open the